Hey, 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 it's Naima here with Pussy Money with Naima. And I'm normally over on my business page hosting Pussy Money with Naima Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific. And a little birdie told me that for this week that I will do it here on my personal page. So this is where I will be Monday through Friday this week, 10 a.m. Pacific. Pussy Money with Naima is a place where I come as the founder of Pussy Money Media, which is dedicated to bringing sexuality professionals to the marketplace powerfully and profitably. And so I'm really excited about today's topic of white women's fear of loss and how does that fit into the equation of pussy money and power. And so I'm going to share this video right now into a couple of groups that I am in. And so if you would like to share it as well, go ahead and do that. Hey, I got folks coming in. Hello. Vicky, I see you. Brian, I see you. Go ahead and share this because that's what I'm doing. Happy Monday. I like this feeling, baby. All right. Hey! So I can already see that this is interesting. Hey, Jen. So, hey, Heather. What is up? So I want to blanket everything that I'm getting ready to say right now. I just realized I forgot to put on my lip gloss. Here. Excuse me. It matters, doesn't it? For those of us who are vain. Was that Oscar de la Renta who said, you either want to be a work of art or make a work of art? So I am art as you are, and lip gloss enhances my art. Hi, Jacqueline. So I want to preface everything that I'm getting ready to say in today's show with the fact that I am not the expert in the realm of patriarchy and racism, and I'm not the expert in that field. However, in the world that I live in, which is women in power and money, and navigating all of the internal terrain that it takes to be a woman of full power, to be a sovereign woman, to be clear, to be honest, to be the truth of who you are in business and in life, my experience in working with hundreds of women all over the world for years, since 2011, is that patriarchy, and I had to discover this too. Like, I learned of patriarchy in the transformation space. So I'm here to say that while I'm not an expert in the realm of patriarchy, it is necessary to speak to in the work that I do as far as women and power and money is concerned. So I'm a multiple six-figure wealth and womanhood mentor. I have made a lot of money working with women all over the world step into their power around money. And I've had to do my own work with stepping into my power around money. And while I am a black woman, most of the women who hire me are white women. And I remember years ago, share this video. If you're already finding value here and you know it needs to be shared, share this video. I remember years ago, so I was born and raised in San Francisco. And, you know, the Bay Area is a place where it's a little bit safer, if you will, to discuss topics of race and sexuality and just, you know, taboo, difficult subjects. And I remember it was about maybe 2013 or so, this older white woman, we're actually still Facebook friends now. Older meaning like she was at least 50 something. I remember I'd offered this group program, and it was in Oakland, and it was a meet in person kind of thing. And I remember one of our calls, she said to me, Naima, there's this thing that that black women have that white women don't have. This is the first time that I thought this secretly, but I had never said it out loud. And to have her say that to me, it has been echoed to me and said to me directly over the years since then. And my experience in dealing with white women is that they have colluded with the patriarchy for protection. Okay. this is a deep subject. Do not expect for me to give you an educational history around the way patriarchy works. Go do your own homework. I am here to speak to the fact that it exists, the fact that I, as a Black woman who works directly and intimately with hundreds of white women all over the world at different financial brackets with different backgrounds and different family structures, the way it shows up for white women and in their world. There is a way that it shows up for Black women as well. There is a way that it shows up for men. There is a way that it shows up for children. For this video, I'm talking about the way it shows up in my work with white women. And so this white woman said to me, there's this thing that Black women have that white women don't have. And what she was really saying, like that was just a piece of it. What she was really saying, as I talked to her more and as I've worked with more white women over the years and gotten a chance to hear the hearts and the souls of different white women, is that there's a way that they cannot be in power without consequence, right? There's a way that they cannot be in power without threatening some comfort that they have as a result of their whiteness. So if I'm a white woman and I have a white dad and mother and husband and children and friends and college, right? And all of us, by our way of being, our silence, our the ways of being that we agree to, who we allow to come into our closer knit circle, the way we interact with those circles, the way we even discuss current events of economics and injustice and housing and, you know, all the big healthcare, all the big things that touch every human being, humanity as a whole. And if part of what makes us a unit, if part of what makes us family, if part of what makes us loving is agreeing with each other and keeping silent around areas where we may be influencing division, where we may be influencing racism, where we may be influencing the different topics that are unjustly affecting other groups of people, then I have to maintain quiet in order to be a part of that group. And my quiet causes me harm because then I'm not whole. I don't get to speak to perhaps a friend that I have that you're not even aware of who doesn't fit inside of this white structure, this white culture. And so then I'm not whole. Then I hurt. I want to share, it's not my story. I'm not a white woman, so I can't speak to what it's like to be a white woman who fears loss as a result of patriarchy. But what I can do is share other women's white stories. So there's this woman, some of you may have heard of her. Her name is Nicole Daedone. She's the founder of an organization called One Taste. And she has a video on YouTube where she talks about when she was in college and she was dating an ethnic woman. I think she said she was Chilean and Black or something like that. And Nicole is white. She was dating this Chilean and Black woman, so bisexual. And she was on the fast track. She talked about being on the fast track, that all of these white colleagues had put her on that were, you know, superior to her, were putting her on the fast track for the PhD program at San Francisco State. And there was this big event that was coming up, and she had debated bringing her girlfriend to this event because around school she would hear all of her superiors talking in these patriarchal, divisive, racial ways. But she never she never said anything. She was silent out of fear of loss, out of fear of you losing that fast track that she was on the PhD track, out of fear of not belonging, being part of the in group and the prosperity that comes with being in that group. And so she says she debated, and you should really go watch the video. I can't even remember the name of the freaking video, but she talks about how she debated, and she had said in the video that how could she lose anything, because what she was really losing was the truth of her soul by not acknowledging this woman who she was in love with, who was her support at the time, and that she actually debated bringing the love of her life at the time to this event that was important to her. And so she said she brought the woman to that event, and she did lose the comfort and the prosperity and the prestige that she had being forged on this PhD, the fast track on this PhD. And what that did for her, though, listen to this. This is really what I want to get at in today's show. because I care about the power in it. I care about the more life in it. I care about the advancement in it. Is that as a result of that, of the loss of the prestige and the being a part of the in group, is that then started to collapse things in her world that were fake, like this fake power, this fake belonging, the conditional love, this was my interpretation of it. She didn't say this. This is my interpretation of it. And started the collapse and the demise of all these things. So then the rise of the truth of who she is could have room. Her real voice could have room. The power of who she really is could have room. And now Nicole has built, along with her team, obviously, because no woman can do it alone, has built a thriving multiple 7-figure training and educational company. Would she have been able to do that and be happy and whole? Because all money ain't good money. Would she have been able to do that and have that fulfillment, that rich, nourishing fulfillment that comes from being a whole woman, that comes from being a true woman, that comes from being aligned, that comes from being honest, that comes from speaking truth to power, that comes with confronting all the systems in play, patriarchy, the list goes on, that comes with confronting these things in whatever way you see fit to confront them. So the question is, how do you become a white woman, really all women, right? But how do you become a woman of power when you fear the loss that comes with you colluding with the patriarchy? That comes from you getting this false comfort, this false protection, because patriarchy says, I will protect you if you do what I tell you to do. Patriarchy says, I will give you money. I will make you the more beautiful one. I will allow your voice to be heard as long as you say what I want you to say, you feel what I want you to feel, you look and behave the way I want you to look and behave. You live and agree to what I say is okay for you to live by and agree to. That's what patriarchy says. And so how do you then come out into the marketplace to be a whole woman, to be a sovereign woman, to be clear and honest, without worry of people seeing through you, without worry of being overpowered because you're in a false power, you're in a fake power? How do you come out in the face of that when you have all of these fake comforts, all of these conditional support and love and structure? It's an inner game, first of all. It's between you and you. It's making a decision and looking at what's more important to you, your conditional love, your conditional support, and all that, or the incontrovertible truth of your soul, who you really are, making money in a way that's aligned, that's true, that's right, that's honest for you. There was another point that I wanted to make. So what I see in the marketplace is I see white coaches, healers, leaders, speakers, etc., with these predominantly white audiences. Now, I'm a black woman and I draw a diverse audience. How is that? How is it? Because we all have access to the marketplace, all of us. Like, there's nothing that I have access to that a white woman has access to, and vice versa. How is it that we all have access to this camera? We all have access to hosting our events anywhere in the world. We have, right? We speak, we can be seen, etc. And yet, white women who are labeled as leaders and whatever, right? Their audiences are 99.9% white. And I, as a black woman, a dark-skinned black woman on top of that, magnetize all of these white women, Indian women, Latin women, black women. How do I do that? It's called being honest. It's called being fully embrace the truth of who you are, willing to confront anything and everything that has your soul hostage. It's willing to speak truth to power in the face of loss. That's what it is. And so when I see these women who are making six figures and they have a 99.6 and seven figures and they have a 99.9% white audience, and I see them on camera and I see them on stages, I can see where they are plagued by patriarchy. I can see where they're not speaking a truth to power. I can see where they're in a certain kind of lane where they must stay in that lane, because if they go off into other lanes, which includes the wholeness of who they are, they will lose many of their clients, and they'll be confronted with looking at the fullness of who they really truly are. And that's what we all want, don't we? We want more life. We want more life. We don't want to be confined by what patriarchy says we're allowed to embrace and speak to. I want to be able to discuss. I want to be able to explore anything and everything. Don't you? I want to be able to talk about anything and everything. I want to be the truth of who I am. And if I have to be silent around anything to get your conditional love, I don't fucking want it. So you get this. Hello to everyone. Hello to everyone. Say hi to me. I see all these people coming in. Hello, 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 hello. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the everything. Thank you. Thank you for the hate. Thank you. Thank you for all of it. It's really good. So how do you do this? You name and you reclaim. You name and you reclaim. I'm actually having an event in Oakland, Berkeley next week called Name and Reclaim. This is how you're going to get your power back. You're going to have to name the thing that you see. Name the thing that you feel. Talk about it in detail. Talk about it with emotion. What you feel, what you know, what you see, what your experience is like being a white woman who's confined to Marin. And I don't mean the actual geography of Marin, but the mind of a Marin woman. The mind of a woman whose world is so small because patriarchy told you that if you get too big, if you expand too much, if you take up too much space, if you tell too much truth, I will abandon you. You will no longer belong here. And I get how that could feel like, oh my God, I'm going to be sleeping under a bridge and who's going to love me? But I guarantee you, every single white woman who I see who has spoken truth to power, right? The rare woman, right? And more are becoming that, speaking truth to power. Speaking what she knows, what she sees, what she feels, and then getting in community. That's the other part, ladies. You getting in community with other women who are doing this work and staying in that community, speaking truth to power, and then having the conversations that your colleagues are willing to have, because not all of them are willing to have it. Having a conversation with those that are willing to have it about who you are, where you're going, what the work that you're doing, and weaving that into the work that you're doing. And I'm telling you, you are going to reach, as a white woman, you are going to reach so many more white women. You're going to even reach the white women who know this and see this, but they're afraid to speak it in public. And as soon as you do, they're going to jump on your fucking bandwagon, man. So then you start making money that really feels good. Real sovereign money, real whole money, real that good money, right? Because that's the money you want. Because once you get trapped, I see these women, they're trapped. They are trapped. Like the money that they're making is based on who they're being, and who they're being is a fraction of who they are. And yet if they were to crack that thing and open up, all of the women who are watching them, who are subconsciously waiting for them to really say it and go there, they're going to fall madly in love with them. The other ones are going to go away, and then room is going to be made for the other white women, and all women, right? It's going to be more. Any white woman who you see who has a diverse audience is a woman who's much more open and broad. And you hardly ever see it, right? You hardly ever see a white leader, a public white leader who has a diverse audience. Every time we see a white leader, white female leader, her audience is what? 99% white. And yet, when you see one that has a diverse audience, you're like, whoa, who is this lady? Who Ooh, ah, you know? And so that's the white woman you will become as you start to have the audacity to name and to reclaim in public who you are, what you see, what your experience is, what your desire is, weaving that into your business so that those who are in your orbit can fall madly in love with you. The ones who are lukewarm and kind of love you like you can disappear. And then that makes room for more women to fall in love with you who you've never even met before. So that's my piece, darling. I'm done. Thank you guys so much for being here. This has been a joy. I'm going to be here for the rest of this week, 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. London time, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll be here even, here on my page more beyond this week. So I'm done. Lots of love. I'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same place. I welcome your comments and your questions down below. I welcome this. Share this video if you have found value. Please share this video now if you have found value. And be back here with me tomorrow, same time, same place. Lots of love. Au revoir.